man. Hey, well, we are here by the blessings and grace of God, and I am thankful to be on your show. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yes.
Wow, let's get into it. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Famously Local podcast. Local, not local, but famous around these parts. You are on the air with the hostess with the mostest, sharing the good news that you can use as we talk community awareness and keep you in the know. I am Angela McNeil Woods, aliasly known as That Law Hill Girl. And today, y'all, I have in the building my coach, my mentor, Mista Darkeye himself of New Soul Music. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I am excited to be here and have this conversation with you again. Congratulations on your podcast. I know you're going to continue to do well. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Coach. You know, I've learned from the best, you see.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, tell the viewers about your nominee for the Queen City Award.
The Queen City Awards. Yes, the Queen City Awards been around for 17 years. It's the 17th annual Queen City Awards celebration coming up on November the 11th in Charlotte, North Carolina. The actual venue, I'm not familiar with this venue or the address, so you can go to queencityawards.com to get the information on that. But it is happening November the 11th, starting at 5 p.m. I believe. So come ready to walk the red carpet, because the red carpet event jumps off, I believe, maybe an hour before the ceremony actually starts. So I believe you get there around 4 p.m. to get to walk the red carpet and show off your nice outfits and all that good stuff. But yeah, I am nominated for Podcast of the Year. So we're looking to bring that home again because I won last year for Podcast of the Year. But I'm also nominated for Gospel Artist of the Year Male, and also nominated for Small Business of the Year for New Soul Music. So so I'm excited to be nominated and then be in the building in the presence of so many other wonderful people in the community that's doing great things. So you can go on queencityawards.com/voting to vote for me or anyone else that you feel like deserve awards. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a great event. I've been a part of the Queen City Awards since I believe the first year I was involved in it was 2018.
Okay.
So so far I've won 3 personally myself, and then I've had artists that I've been managing over the years that's also won. So technically I've won like 6. So been doing some pretty good stuff there. So I'm thankful, grateful to God for the opportunities that this platform has awarded me, and it's just been a great experience.
Yeah, because you're so busy, one of the hardest men working around.
I like to call it being productive, though.
That's true.
Because you can be busy doing nothing.
You say that.
Yeah.
So thank God that you keeping it busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I'm gonna ask you some questions now.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm ready.
Because it can take all day, because me and Coach can talk, y'all.
Yeah.
Now, so where is home for you? Are you a Carolinas baby?
Oh yeah. Right here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, born and raised.
Wow.
I lived here for 41 years now. In the past year, I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, I've been living in Charlotte, North Carolina for the past year.
Yeah, how's that?
It's been okay, it was a move that just it made sense at the time to make, but I don't know if I don't know, maybe I'll move back to Rock Hill, maybe not. But I spent a lot of time working in Charlotte, so it just kind of makes sense for me to be there in Charlotte. But I'm definitely born and raised right here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. This has always been home, will always be home, my whole life has been here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So definitely this will always be home.
Yeah, well, Coach, now I'm going to mention what I know about you.
Yeah.
Now you tell me if I got it right.
Okay.
Now I know you're a manager, a consultant, a rapper, podcast host.
What
I miss?
That's pretty
doing,
much
you
it.
Doing a lot.
Yeah, that's
you wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, I am. I try to wear them one at a time though, because sometimes we try to do all that stuff at one time. But I done learned to consolidate and compartmentalize things.
I like that word because you don't have to use it.
Yeah, you got to be able to do that, because you get things, too much going on at one time. Some people be trying to what they call multitask. Mm-hmm. But when you do that, something is not getting as much attention as it needs to be.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I'm just, I'm excited about everything because I know you do a lot. And like the day when I met you and we saw your sign, mm-hmm. and we were like, a music producer and rock band?
Yeah.
That is huge,
Yeah, it is.
In the Carolinas, period, other than Charlotte.
Right. It's a lot going on in Charlotte, but Rock Hill needs a lot, and I'm looking to put a recording studio here in Rock Hill. I'm getting closer and closer to it. But I'm ultimately knowing that there's a huge void and opportunity to bring a recording studio to Rock Hill because it hasn't been one here since like the early 2000s. So yeah, a lot of people are trying to make do by recording at their houses and stuff like that. But I've been in that space. It can be overwhelming trying to do too much, like you just got through saying, wearing all those hats, and a lot of people just having too much on them to do that. So to bring a commercial professional recording studio to Rock Hill I know it'll be a great help to a lot of the talent that's here.
That's right. That's right. Now, your love for music as a teen, that's what led you to become a Christian rapper?
Well, I didn't become a Christian hip hop artist until 2013. Okay. It started out in 92. I know I had mentioned earlier that I'm 42 years old. A lot of people don't know that. Some people think I'm in my 30s, but
that's right.
Yeah, but I'm 42 years old. I started doing music in 92, and it was really I guess I would have to say I was just impacted by the whole culture of hip hop and just the creative freedom that it had and the freedom to the free speech, and just be creative in all of those different areas. But being influenced by artists like Rakim, and then later on artists like Tupac, with like Brenda's Got a Baby changed my life. Like to hear somebody rap about that in that way, and it was such a touching story. Like it just impacted me creatively and just made me want to make music that touched people the same way. So that's where it started, and then just throughout the years, I just learned as much as I felt like I could about the business and just doing that grind work and trying to get, because back then you didn't have social media, so you had to get out here and really, you had to get out here and walk your dogs and walk the pavement to get out here to see what was going on and let people know about who you were and what you had going on. I used to have a book bag full of my CDs and walking around trying to get people to buy my stuff. But yeah, that's how I started. And then eventually later on in life, as a young adult, living life, adulting and going through just life. Life is life.
That's right.
So, went through a depression stage and then trying to figure out life from that perspective. And I stopped doing music and then felt like my only outlet to get out of this depression stage was to give my life to God, and I did that in 2011.
Amen.
And then, so I stopped doing music for about a couple of years, came back to it in 2013, but more so as someone that was on assignment at this point. I feel like I'm a messenger for God to send out His messages through my music. And then I continue to do that through everything else I've done, as a manager, as a consultant, as a podcaster. It's still the same thing. I'm still being a messenger. So that's pretty much how that was the journey in a nutshell.
So what you're saying is you've been spitting since 2013. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I've been spitting, for God since 2013. Amen. But it started back in '92. So I was back then, you know, doing what I feel like is the golden era of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, where it started, where we was really dropping them bars back then. Nowadays, it's more about melody and melodic stuff or whatever, and just people want to turn up. They don't really care about lyrics like that no more.
Or copying somebody else's.
Yeah, copy somebody else's stuff. But for me, you know, I came from that place where, you know, we like cut the beat off. Let me hear what you really can do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I feel a challenge coming on.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's where it came from. So I'm just, I'm grateful. You know, 30 plus years just being in this business and now being in a position to help people.
Yeah. Now, do you think if you were, you know, in secular music, is it easier?
In secular music?
Yeah, like contract wise to get, you know, linked up or whatever. Is it easier? It's different, right?
It's different, and I would say it might be easier because of the fact that this industry welcomes anything that's going to pollute the minds of the people. Like anything negative, anything that's going to actually pollute the minds of the people and keep us from moving forward, they welcome that. They pay artists in this industry to put out music like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this content, the music that we're hearing today, they paying artists more money to continue this narrative of, you know, degrading us and you know, and not educating us and moving the culture forward. So I would say it's easier in that sense, but then it can be hard as well because it's so oversaturated. So many people trying to get into the business. But as a Christian artist, I would say that it's more fulfilling than anything. You know, you don't really be worried about the success part of it. You know, you just worry about getting the message out, impacting the people and touching the people in a positive way. You know, so that's pretty much my main focus because I feel like when I focus on that, put God first, everything else comes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Now, so how did you get into the music industry? Is it because you saw the need for it, or that's something like you as a child was in you?
I feel like what sparked it was there was a R&B group out of Rock Hill that actually made it. Like professionally, record deal, #1 record. The group was a lot of people who from Rock Hill know. The group was In Phase.
Shout out to In Phase.
Yeah, you familiar with In Phase? Yeah, Al Boy, Bo Williamson, Mark, all those guys. So I knew them coming up, especially Mark, Bo Williamson, great friend of my family. I believe we cousins actually.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I always knew him, and then to see them make it, and you know, me looking at that as a little kid, like they can make it, I can make it,
right.
You know. And then there was other examples just on the strength of looking at people who made it into like the NFL coming from Rock Hill, just to see people's dreams coming true. You know, because I remember Jeff Barris back in the day when he made it to the NFL, like just to see a dream coming true made me feel like my dreams can come true. So, but In Phase definitely impacted me in that way as far as having a music career.
I love how they spell their name too.
Oh yeah. In Phase, like with the E in the face, that was dope. So yeah, I definitely was impacted and inspired by what happened with them to be able to actually make it in the business. And so that kind of sparked it, and then from there, I just continued to just have this desire to want to create. I love creating, you know, love being creative. I was always like that as a little kid, like liking to, I enjoyed drawing and sketching and stuff like that, and just writing stuff all the time. Like my mom would give me a piece of paper and a pen or something and set me over in the corner and I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I was just in that space coming up, loving to be creative.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what you got with that pen there.
Well, I can't draw no more. I used to.
Yeah.
It was really a thing for me at one point in time, but I can't really get down like that no more. But I used to have a lot of stuff going on with that. But yeah, that's where it started. And I just continued to just have the love and the passion for creating and to express myself. Like it was like big for me to think of something, create it, and then present it to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, hey, check out what I created. It was just like big. It was big for me to do that.
Now, so let's dive into New Soul Music. How was that birth?
That was birthed from. It started. New Soul Music actually started out as Dark Soul. Dark Soul. Me and my brother had a vision. Well, I had a vision to start a record label back in the 99, early 2000s. And that was a dream that I thought was a dream that me and my brother shared.
Yeah.
But really it was more so my dream, and he was just being supportive.
Yeah.
But I learned that throughout the years of trying to get some things going and realizing that I was kind of the one that was putting more so of the effort and the drive behind it. But he was just kind of being in the background, being supportive, but not necessarily his dream. But it started out as Dark Soul Entertainment, and then around 2012, about a year after I got saved, I started realizing God kind of revealed to me that He sent me in a different direction, and He needed me to definitely focus on something different. Which I was focusing more so on my relationship with Him, but I had decided to put the whole Dark Soul thing to rest, buried that, and was done with that. So like I say, by the time 2013 got there, and I had already started recording new music as a Christian artist, was debating on whether or not I was going to release it. I wasn't sure. I had this one song that I released as my first single as a Christian hip hop artist. It's called Believer, and that's a song that a lot of people who've been following me since then still love that song to this day. But that was my first single that I released as a Christian hip hop artist. It's called Believer, and when I started looking at the vision of where I was going to go as far as the company and the label was, I was like, well, I can't be Dark Soul no more. So it was just instant. It was just like obvious what the transitions would be. So it was New Soul. So New Soul Music was birthed in 2013 with the release of my first single as a Christian hip hop artist, Believer. So that's how that came together.
You did a whole transformation into
I did. Yeah, I did.
Now tell us about Mista Darkeye. I love the name. It took me a minute, but I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I got you.
I know people have actually asked me so much, like, cause especially, you got your church folks out here, they want to know, they like, Darkeye, like I done heard people say, they done told me like, that sounds evil. Like, what is that? Like, and we was talking about Erica Alexander, aka Maxine Shaw, attorney at law.
Yes.
When I met her, she told me my name sounded like a horror movie. She was like, where your name come from? Darkeye or whatever. But here's the thing, when I tell them that the name God revealed to me, like I done had Mista Darkeye since 1995.
Okay.
The original origin of it came from a song that I was writing, and I referred to my third eye as my dark eye, and it was like just metaphorically speaking from a place of, because I used to write music at night, and I just felt like I had this infatuation with darkness. Like for some reason, I felt like in my mind, the only way I could shine is in the dark. I felt like that's the only way my light could shine is in the dark. Because I feel like, you know what I mean? So that was my mindset back then. So I was just like, just fascinated with darkness. And I would only write music at night. And so I just had this thing where I was thinking about like my third eye, my mind is like this dark place that releases light. So that's how Darkeye kind of, I know it's a little deep, but.
No, what's the deepness, honey? We're not playing no games over here.
So Darkeye was birthed from that, but then later on, when I got saved, I got introduced to the scriptures, 2 Corinthians 5:7, when it said, walk by faith, not by sight.
Stay right
So when I heard that, I was like, man, that's what my name means. So that's what I tell people. That's what it is. That's what God gave me. And I tell them now that that's what Darkeye means. Because that's what I've been doing this entire time without even me knowing. I've been walking by faith and not by sight. So so when I tell them that, that's what they like, oh, I like that now. So Mista Darkeye. So it was that, but I put the Mista on there. It's just like some kind of a signification of respect. But it used to be an acronym for minister and serving the Almighty.
All right.
So but I just kind of
y'all got that right.
yeah, MISTA, minister in serving the Almighty. So I was saying that at one point, but it was just like it was too much to be. I was like, people were getting like it's too much. I'll just stick to what the scripture.
Yeah.
Walk by faith, not by sight.
Well, okay, so let's talk about your tagline. Your tagline, I love it. Motivation to trust God and live your dreams.
Yes.
I love that. First of all, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, he's a believer. I knew that when I saw that. And you believe that to the fullest.
Oh, absolutely. Because motivation to trust God, live your dreams is the statement that I stand on, live on every day, and it's what I say on my podcast, the Mista Darkeye podcast, and that started when my last job that I worked was back in 2016. Yeah. And when me and my employers had irreconcilable differences and we decided to go our separate ways. Yeah. I prayed about it, thought about it, thought about it, whether or not if I was going to go back to work, because I realized I was like, here I am, I've been, divorced for a year at that point, and I'm starting over. Yeah. So I'm like, don't have any children. So I'm like, just get ready. I'm thinking to myself, in my spirit, I'm going to give just 150% focus and drive to building this brand of new soul music and whatever it is that I want to do. So I decided, not to go back to work and just focus on that. And for me, it was a difficult journey. Yeah. So I found myself telling myself that every day. Yeah. Trust God, live your dreams.
I love that.
So once I felt in my spirit it was filling me up and helping me, I decided to express that through my podcast. Yeah. My podcast, it was something that I just kind of started from. There's a guy that I follow. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. Some people might know who he is. But he was talking about this app that you can use to record a podcast by just talking on your cell phone. So I was like, okay, and I used to intern in radio back in the day. So it made me feel like, all right, why not try it? I just tried it, and then I started just really feeling fulfilled from it. Yeah. And like I say, the everyday statement that I had to encourage in myself, trust God, live your dreams. I just made that to be what I would tell my listeners. And in the beginning, I only had like 4 people that would consistently listen, but they would chime in and let me know how impactful it was. And and I use that, and that's one thing I would say. It doesn't matter how small your audience is in the beginning. Just keep going and speaking to them because it's impacting them. But that's where it started. Trust God, live your dreams started with me encouraging myself with those words, and then realizing that there's somebody else out there that needs to hear it.
That's right. Now, and your podcast is Darkeye Podcast. Yep. Correct. I want to make sure you guys hear that. Darkeye Podcast.
Yeah, Mista Darkeye Podcast.
Mista. M-I-S-T-A.
Darkeye. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you can listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Now, in one of your interviews that I heard, so you have been, you mentioned that you have been podcasting for about 4 years. You seem so natural at it, though.
Oh, yeah. Because I like talking to people. Yeah. That's the reason why it's structured like that way for me to do interviews. What's crazy though, it's like I like talking to people, but most people that like really know me know I can be quiet. I can be really kind of quiet and not as talkative as I can be, But I guess when I'm around the right people or certain people.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's your discerning spirit.
Yeah.
Once you feel like it's right, then you can.
I'll open up.
Yeah, my husband's like that.
Yeah,
I love that because people think he's quiet as a mouse, but he is the funnest guy. I'm not gonna tell y'all because you ladies. Okay. So with that being said, so we recently, had a chance to share in the viewing that you had. Your documentary with your gospel artist, Anitra. That was so beautiful.
Oh yeah, the documentary that we did, the So Amazing documentary. We decided to do a documentary around the idea of how the song that we wrote and recorded together called So Amazing, how that came together. We just told our story on how, we grew up in in the same neighborhood, knew each other from my childhood, but we never got to know each other until she came to me and wanted me to help her with her music.
Yeah.
So while we was working together, we got to know each other, and then from there, just started to realize on how, because Nitra is someone that's just a bright light. She's really out here living her energy, out here living her life. And for me at that time, I was just work with no balance. And I remember she was telling me, like, you gotta have fun, loosen up sometimes. You about work all the time. So that was something that it was almost like I'm helping her with what she wants to do music-wise and her dreams. And then she turned around and was kind of like a coach for me, telling me how to have a more of a work-life balance or whatever, you know what I mean? So we were just kind of sharing that in the documentary and how that all came together. And we was talking about how God will use certain people to help you see things differently in life.
That's right.
So you won't just be on this one thing and not, you know, you're missing out on some things over here when you could be, you know, have more of a balance. And sure enough, doing that now, I mean, my life is just like this. I'm living my life that way, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nitra. She helped me see a little more of a work-life balance or whatever, and I'm definitely out here. I work, but I also enjoy myself too, so.
That's right. See, that's where that happenstance came in from.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Now, so you have several artists. You got your newest artist. I murder her name every time. Dejalyn. Now, I saw her at the Coco Jones concert.
Yes.
Awesome performance, young lady. And honestly, I thought she was the feature.
Oh,
she
wow.
did so many songs. You know, I love you, Coco. I love you, but the 2-3 songs you did, you was wrong now. So, but Dejalyn, beautiful. Yes. She did her thing, let me tell you.
Very talented.
Yes, and Rudy Currents.
Yes, Rudy Currents. Shout out to Rudy Currents, another one of my brother, my childhood friend. Him and I grew up together as well. So right now, I am helping him and assisting him. I'm on his management team. I do a lot of the road management stuff, and I'm also I consult with. I mean, I'm consulting as well. He talks with me about different ideas and stuff like that. He's up for Grammy consideration right now for Gospel Album of the Year and Gospel Song of the Year. For Stained Glass Windows is the album, and then the single is Ransom. So so we hoping to get the Grammys to let them on in there. So definitely.
We speaking that into existence already, you guys. Well, I'm just super proud of you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
You're doing your thing out here. Now, how can the people get in contact with you?
So you can Google me. That'll be the easiest way to get all of the information right at your fingertips. MistaDarkeye. You get access to the music, to the podcast, to how to get in touch with me as far as services for being, consultations. As far as management, I know artists hit me up all the time about management, stuff like that. I'm very strategic about that. And I don't just be jumping out here managing everybody. But at the end of the day, if you need to sit down with me for an hour or two to kind of hear what you got going on and you need some guidance and some information, definitely hit me up to schedule a consultation. But definitely Google me, or you can reach out to me directly on Facebook at Mista Darkeye or Instagram at Mista Darkeye. So,
And y'all, on top of the cool name that he has for himself as a hip hop artist, his name is solid, Morris Gordon.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to tell you, he was destined for greatness. Okay.
I really do appreciate that. You make me blush on this camera, y'all. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I cannot thank you enough. I'm thanking you immensely for this interview and for giving up your time today.
Oh, no problem at all.
God bless you, brother.
God bless you,
You
too.
gonna come back?
Oh, yeah, we can come back.
Y'all
Part 2,
working now.
Part 3, Part 4, we keep going.
We might have to hear him spit a little bit, okay?
Ah, yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to Famously Local Podcast. Local, not local, but famous around these parts.
Yes, sir.
You guys be blessed. Have a great day. Now, Coach, my mic check. 1, 2, 2.